Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another installment of the DATS Introduction to DATS Programming Language. In today's video, we are going to look at lists. Okay, so a list is just an object that holds variables, either of the same type or different types. Okay, so we have the generic way of defining lists, and we have the constructor method. Okay, so I can say var and say my list because then the square braces will come. So I can say I have name, let me say John. I can have say Doe. I can say Jane. So this is a list. So if I print my list but runtime type, I get a list of strings. So this is the list. Okay, and then this is the type. So inside of this, the braces, having this, we have list. This is the list we have, and then this string refers to the type of values that are held inside this list. In this case, they are all strings. Okay, so I can change this. Since this is a var keyword, I have no troubles adding something like false, adding maybe 1 2 3, okay, adding say 12.45. so this contains almost every variable, every data type we can get our hands on. So if I run this again, I get a list, but this time the type is an object because it has no specific data type for just one, because we have strings, we have booleans, we have integers, we have doubles there. Okay, so it can't refer one type. So that is the generic way of initializing a list. So I can say var my list one, and say it's say all strings. So I'm just going to copy all the strings here and use it inside of this. Okay, so if I print the runtime type of my list 1, I should get all to be a list of strings. Okay, because they are all strings in there. Okay, so every list has some methods on it. Okay, so I can say my list 1 dot. If I want to add something to the list, I can say add, then the value comes. So I say Gregory. Okay, I can add as many as I want, so I can say Brian. Okay, then if I print my list 1, so this is going to be before, but before I add anything, I want to print before and after. So I'll just say before adding, and I'll say after adding. Okay, so if I run this, before adding I have John, Doe, and Jane. After adding we have John, Doe, Jane, Gregory, and Brian. Okay, so we can access any of the elements of the list using the indexing. or the index. So the list is indexed from 0, just like any other indexing in that programming. So the index of John, which is this first element, is going to be 0. This is going to be index 1, index 2, index 3, index 4, and index 5. Okay, so I can say print my list 1, then pass in an index, so 0. So to access a specific element, you can use the square braces, then pass in a value. Okay, so in this case, I want to access the second element, the third element. Okay, so I'm passing in 3. So when I run this, I get Gregory. Okay, so you can pass in any value at all and then get an output, provided the value you pass in does not exceed the number of elements we have there. So if I pass in something like 9 and run the program, I will get some error. Okay, unhandled exception, range error, index invalid value not in its inclusive range of 0 to 4. Okay, so we can only access from 0 to 4, but I passed in 9, which is wrong. Okay, so provided it's not out of range, it's going to return a value. Okay, all right, so that is the generic way of defining a list. So I can say my list 1 dot. If you want to see all the methods on it, you can just scroll through to, so you can add all if you have a list you want to add. So I can say add all and then say my list. Okay, so you can use an iterable, so which is going to say you have to iterate over a list and add them. Okay, so so if you want to know all the methods that are available on a list, you can say my list and list 1 dot, then you scroll through, you have add or any, as map, cast, clear, contains. Okay, so I can say contains, then say maybe false, or let me say chain. Okay, so this is supposed to return a boolean. So sorry, let me just print this out. So I'm just going to say print, then it returns true because Jane is available in my list 1. So if I pass in something that's not there, say that, okay, and hit run, I get false because that is not available on this. Okay, so again, you can use the little scroll button to check out what you can do. So contains, function, so element, expand, full range, first one, fold. So I'll leave a link in the description so you can check out what all of these functions is used for, what you can use it for, and what you should do and not do. Okay, because I can't go through everything here. Okay, so you can get the index where you can insert. Okay, so if I'm using the insert, I can insert at say index 3, then pass a value, say maybe trend. Okay, so after this, if I print my list again, see that the first time we printed this, we have John, Doe, and Jane. Okay, meaning this was going to be the, okay, so I just printed trends. I'm sorry. So the third element we printed here is Gregory. Okay, But then since we inserted a new element at trends, at the third index, which is trends, is returning trends. So if I print my list without any index, note that it did not delete Gregory, but it shifted it forward and then added the trends. Okay, so that is what the inserts can do. So the insert is going to insert it at your specified index. Okay, so you can see my list one dot, then move through. You can use the for each method, insert or join, last index of map. You can map through, you can reduce, you can remove. So if you want to remove any element, just pass in remove, and I'm just going to pass in I don't like trends, so let me just remove trends. Okay, so if I print my list again, you'll notice that trend is no longer available on our list. Okay, all right, so this is the generic way of defining or working with a list. In the next video, we are going to look at the constructor method. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support this channel. I'll see you in the next video.